Good afternoon. We're going to go over this week's trades and a weekly recap. Before I do, I finished the week with 21 wins, 4 losses, which is an 84% win rate. And I finished the month with 101 wins and 23 losses, and 1 flat, which is basically break even, for an 81.60% win rate for the entire month. And what's important is that consistency, week after week, day after day, month after month. I'm just consistent through and through. So that is what is key. So with that said, you can go into Twitter and you can see my timestamps from all the days from this past week. You can also look in the room. But the problem is, when looking in the room in the past alerts, it doesn't really show you the timestamp. It shows you the timestamp, but it just says like, oh, past Tuesday. It doesn't actually show you the time, I don't think. But my Twitter, it actually does show you the time because I post it every day for that specific purpose. So you can see the timestamp. Okay, so Monday, the first play was 343 SPY calls. Monday, which is right here. Now, let me blow it up. Make sure I have the right day, the 26th. Yeah, as you can see, overnight on Sunday, it gapped down. Then is this Monday? Yeah, Monday in the middle of the morning, about 3 a.m., 3:30. There was a big dump. I'm not quite sure why. I can't remember. So my initial thought was, okay, we had this big gap down. We're going from 345. We're down at, we're almost a $4 drop right there. So I'm thinking, okay, right here, I'm going to grab calls for a pop right out of the gate. And that's what we did. I grabbed 343 calls at 81 cents at 9:30 right at the gate. And they ended up going from 81 cents to $1.05 in that quick little push. I thought that they'd actually get to the 200 EMA and possibly even fill the gap, but it didn't. It just was quickly rejected. Now, the next play was I switched sides really quick. Well, not really quick. I got the 341 puts at 1028, which I believe is right here. Yeah, right in here. Right when I broke pre-market lows, right there. As you can see, it chopped around. I broke out. We grabbed the pop up and it quickly sold off in this big red candle right there. I think it was news, probably something about stimulus or something. I can't remember, but I grabbed the 341 puts at 80 cents, and they end up going 600% to $5.28 in this massive dump. So what was the dump? $6, $7. So then I had an overnight ER play, but I'll get to that in a second. The last trade of the day, which was my first loss of the week, was the SPX 3410. So let's see. Oops, why did I type 3410 in there? Okay, I got this at, let's see, is this Monday right there? Yeah, it is. Now I got these at 302, so I got those right, I think right here. Yeah, right here is where I got it. 302, right in here. Thinking, okay, big dump, partial reversal, and then you have left shoulder, head, and right. So I'm thinking, okay, we're gonna pop and a big pop on this inverted head and shoulders right here. And it would have been a good play if I timed it right, but I didn't time it right. I got right here, and the big pop did happen, but it happened right here. I mean, it doesn't look like much, but from 3383 to 3400, I mean, that's a 15-point move right there. So I mean, if that happened here, that probably would have went to 34. That would have went into money, and that probably would have went 500%. But it is what it is. I didn't time it right, so that was the first loss. Then I had Triple M earnings. Now it didn't. The earnings are right here. Okay, so I grabbed it at the end of the day. I mean, it did dump down, but it didn't dump as much as I thought. Usually Triple M on their earnings, they dump like almost 10 points, or they pop about 10 points. So usually when I do my strangles on Triple M, 90% of the time they work out, and this is that 10% time it didn't. So I didn't dump it right here. I probably should have, even though it would have still been a loss, even if I dumped it, because I would have had to, let's see. me look up the actual play because I have it whited out on my blacked out on my Twitter because there was an overnight swing. Okay, let me get to the right day here. Yeah, I had 155 puts at 70 cents and 175 calls at 70 cents. So, in order for the puts to work and break even, they would have had to go at least $1.40, and they never did. And in fact, when they were right here, I think they were still like not even at 70 cents. Just the IV was too much, and it didn't really work out. So. And then I held it thinking, okay, usually it will drop more. And it did drop more, but it never, I mean, it got down to here. Actually, I still have a thing right there to let me know. But it never got over the 70 cents or to a win over $1.40. So it just ended up being a loss. So it is what it is. So that's how that ER play. Usually that works out pretty good because of that. But it didn't. So let's see. Then Tuesday I had 3 wins and 1 loss, and I had Apple puts at open, which we have on the 26 rate. Okay. Now, as you can see, it flattened after hours on Monday, then it gapped up a little bit. It started to sell off, so I grabbed it right at open. I grabbed it right about right here, I think, right around the 115.30 area when it broke down below these candles right here. Grabbed the 110 puts at 113, and they dropped to 135 right there. Then I ended up grabbing CAT. I think CAT had ER, which it did. Yep. 27th. And see, I grabbed CAT at 946. I mean, it gapped down, it popped a little bit, and it rejected the white line, which is the 37 EMA. So I grabbed it at 946, which is right here, right through VWAP. I grabbed a 155 puts at 81 and went to 121 right there. Then it just chopped the rest of the day. So then I ended up grabbing. Tuesday, there wasn't that many big movers. I mean, it was just basically scalp central. I grabbed SPY 330 puts, 335 puts. Make sure I get the right day, the 27th. Let me bring up the day before. At 10:20, so that was right here. Now, grabbed them right underneath these candles right there, 102 to 125 right there, only a 23-cent move. I was expecting another big dump because, you know, it gapped up, then tested this 341, rejected, then it sold off a little bit. I was obviously looking at Apple and CAT at the time. Then when it reject right here, it looked almost the same way as CAT rejected the red, the white 37 EMA, and grabbed it right in here, and didn't dump as much as I thought it would. In fact, the whole day was just choppy. It was just in a tight little channel, and a lot of people in the room were playing this channel. I was not. I hate playing choppy channels, but it is what it is. Then the second loss of the week, actually third loss because if you count Triple M, which was Disney puts. Let's see, Disney. What time did I have that? They blended 1041. 27th, okay. 1041. Right here, I think I grabbed it. Nope, right here. Did I say what time it was? 1024. 1024. Where is it? Right here. Right there. I mean, obviously, it chopped right in here, and I think SPY was weak. Yeah, SPY was weak at that time because it was rejecting. So I grabbed it right there, thinking Disney was going to follow through, break down, and go to 123 and possibly even 121 because I have my little lines right there. So I figured, okay, it's gonna, you know, I tested it here the day before a couple of times, and usually the more times it touches, the more high probability it is going to fall through. So when it started to sell off, pretty much the same thing as CAT and SPY. I mean, 37 EMA rejected, and I was probably, I think I was playing I was playing Spy. Yeah, I was playing Spy and Disney at the same time within a few minutes of each other. So I really thought Disney was going to break down and fall apart right here and have one of these kind of moves right here. See how it just chopped and just dumped? And I was thinking it was going to do the same thing right here, and it didn't. So it chopped and popped a little bit, and it just Theta just destroyed it. So that was another loss for Tuesday. Then I had VIX. I had a VIX swing from August 4th. I'll bring up the daily. Now, August 4th, which is right here. No, right in here. Right there. This day. Right here. And there was, VIX was at 23, and elections coming up, drama. So I call it election protection. And I grabbed the debit spread of buy 30 calls and 32 calls. If at the price of 60 cents, I sold at $1. I mean, I could have sold it here, but I probably should have and re-entered, but I didn't. I kept it because I wanted to wait until we got closer to election. Then when it hit 40 on Wednesday, that's when I got out. So, but I mean, it can go a lot higher. VIX can probably go a lot higher, but you know, 40 was a good round number. It was dollar 40 cents on it was a pretty good trade, so I took it and got out. So then I had Microsoft, which was earnings. They went 200%. Let's bring up the 10-minute, the daily. Let's see, I had, this was the 27th after hours, and you see choppy, and it started to drift down. So I grabbed the Microsoft 202.50 puts at $1.12. I mean, right here it started to pop up, and it retested this area breakdown, this former area support, which is now resistance, and the 37 EMA. It rejected, and I grabbed it right here when it broke below these candles right there, and they went from $1.12 to $3.30 on that little push right there. So then I got BA. See, make sure I get the right day, the 28th. BA obviously had earnings that popped and it dropped. I grabbed the 145 puts at 957, which is right here. As you can see, it's pushing down. It's got a descending wedge, descending triangle right here. It's flat right there, and it's pushing down. You know, you're straight down right through here if you want to like. So right, as soon as I broke down this area right here, I grabbed the 145 puts at $1, and they went to $1.65 right there. So there's a quick little push down on that. Then I grabbed Roku. Let's see, Roku on the 28th. Now Roku, I mean, look at Roku. It's just staying within this little channel right here. Bring up the 28th right there. I mean, you look at the hourly, I mean, that's the 10-minute. Why is it showing the 10-minute? There we go. I mean, look at this. I mean, you got a head and shoulders, left shoulder, head, and a massive right shoulder. And it's just staying in this 225, 220 area. So, yeah. So I did grab 205 puts at $1.05 at what time? 10:55, which I believe is right here. Now I got a rejection off the VWAP and grabbed it right here, and it just chopped a little bit, and it did dump. So they did go from $1.05 to $1.25, and that just chopped, killed the move. But if this move happened right here, and I was expecting it to, and they probably would have gone 100%. But Theta just rocked it a little bit in the chop. All it takes is a little bit of chop, and it just changes everything. So had to deal with it. So then I had on had a lot of trades on Thursday. Now I had started out with Tesla. I haven't been very good at catching Tesla knives lately. Usually I'm pretty good at catching knives, but I definitely wasn't on that day. The 29th. Okay, I grabbed 425 calls at $1.70. I grabbed them at what time? 9:31. As you can see, I had a gap up, sold off, and it started going up, so I grabbed it right in here, right when I broke over this little candle right here, and it did push. It didn't push that much, $1.70 to $1.90, so in and out. I did end up trading it again, so I did catch this. But yeah, it was the first. I think if I bring it down to the 3-minute on this day, see, you can see it broke out and went out before it dumped, so it did climb a little bit. Which day was it? The 29th. Okay. So then I ended up grabbing ROKU next. Okay, I'll go to ROKU, keep these in order, so that way you can go through the timestamps, the orders I do. I had ROKU puts at 210, and let's see, I had it 210. Make sure I have the right. What time was it? 9:45. Okay. Oh yeah, on this candle right down here. Let's see. I gotta look at something. Hold on a second. Yeah, they ended up going to, I had to check to see what they, for some reason I didn't have it put up, but they went to $1.66 from the 92 cents. So this little drop from 92 cents to $1.66 on that drop right there. For some reason I didn't put it on Twitter, but that's the high of the after the alert. So then I had I had Tesla again. So I had Tesla. I went up on the strike, and I always tell people in the room, do not average down on a loser. Instead of averaging down a loser, just, you know, get a closer strike. You have a better chance of making more money and not wrecking as much. So because I did have this catch this little move and it pulled back and it chopped a little bit, I did grab the 422.50 calls instead of the 425 is what I had in the first on Thursday. So I grabbed them at 9.56, which I believe is right here. I grabbed it as it pulled back, and just in this little pullback, and just the premiums just got wrecked. But yeah, I grabbed it right here, thinking we're gonna have a massive pop because it's pre-market high, higher than this candle. Grabbed it, pulled back a little bit, then it ripped. So they did end up going from $1.50 to $3.70 in this little push, and a lot of people held right through the big push. So congrats to them that did that. Next, I grabbed the BA calls at 152.50 calls at 75 cents, which I believe is right here. Let me check the time. 9:37. Oh, I got it right over this candle right here. And they went from 75 cents to $1.05. When it started getting red right here, you can see it's getting a little resistance from this 150 area, which is a big psychological number. So I got out right when I hit 150 because I knew it would reject, or a high probability it would. So those big fat round psychological numbers, they end up being resistance, and 150 is a big number, and it did get resistance. So then I ended up grabbing Disney puts. What time did I grab them? At 10:54. 10:54, which is, I believe, right here. Yeah, I remember this because I was expecting to go to 121 and it started to reject right here, and I grabbed it right there. I grabbed these 120 puts at 89 cents, and right when it broke down, this little push right here went from 89 to 115. So the last play of the day was SPY. Let's see. I've been having a lot of typos lately. I'm just having brain farts left and right. Let's see. I had 333 calls at 124, which was right here. Now, I believe there was news. I can't remember what it was. Probably more stimulus talks or something, or I don't remember. There's just so much stimulus news going on. It's just ridiculous. So, but either way, it was a technical breakout right there. So you can see a left shoulder, the head, and a right shoulder. So he had a little inverted head shoulders right there, and I did grab the 333 calls at 90 cents, and that little pop, they did go in the money, and they went from 90 cents to 260 right there. So that was the last trade for Thursday. Then Friday, which was an interesting day. I will start with, let me bring up, I had SPY calls on Friday, right out of the gate. You mean it dumped right here in the middle of the night, then it rebounded, and it dropped a little bit to the 37 EMA. So when it got over this little area right here, I was looking for calls, and I grabbed an 331 calls at 97 cents, and I went to 107 right in here. I grabbed it right at open, thinking we were going to have a big pop and at least get up here, but it kind of was getting rejected or before the white line, which is previous day's close, which is a very important indicator to have because it's very well respected. So then I had ROKU, which was the play of the day, actually the play of the week. It did finally break down because obviously, I mean, right here, I've been watching this for like weeks. Yeah, weeks. And 220 was a big level. And as you can see right here, let me back it up a little, show you on the hourly. I mean, it's been holding a support, and then it fell through, and then it acted as resistance and resistance. So, I did like the, as soon as it broke down below this pre-market right here of the 216, I did grab the 212.50 puts at 93 cents. So 212, let's see, I grabbed it right here, and 212 was right here. So all it needed was just a little push, and it would send it, and it sent it. So they went from 93 cents to $8.62, almost a 10 bagger, went 900%. So many in the room held a majority of it or a good portion of it, so they did really well on that. So then I had, this is the knife I tried to catch that burnt me. Well, it didn't burn me too bad because I sold most of my position. I grabbed the 4 or 5 calls at 9.49 on Tesla, which is right here. Now, it had this big knife, and I was thinking, okay, we're going to rebound, and it did. It wicked, it rebounded, so I grabbed them at $1.46. I did sell most of them at $1.63, and I held a few more, and it just dumped, and I'm just whatever. So, I mean, it did turn red, and not much because I sold most of my position, but it did turn slightly red, so it's only fair. If I finish the trade red, it is a loser, regardless if I made money out or not. So I did turn red overall, even taking the 163. So then I had SPY puts at let me just bring up SPY before I had 325 SPY puts at 1017, which is right here. As you can see, you know, it's chopping in this little area right here, 327 to 329. It's just chopping, and when it broke down below the EMAs and these candles, I grabbed the 325 puts at $1.22, and they went to 282 in this little push right there. So they went in the money again, just like ROKU did. A couple of the plays I had went in the money, so that one did. Then I ended up grabbing ROKU calls yesterday. Yes, after misjudging Tesla, I decided to catch another knife, and I was a little hesitant about it at first. I grabbed it at 10.55, which I believe is right here, right there. Now, as you can see, right 10.55, which is right here. You can see right in here, it has like a little support right there. So I was looking at that, and it started to turn green. So I grabbed a 210 calls at 78 cents, and they went to $1.35 just in this little push. Because it's Friday and they're close to at the money, the slightest moves on stocks like ROKU, they go crazy, and Tesla. So then Snow is the first time I've ever traded it, but I've been watching it all week, and I really, really like it. It's probably one of my new favorite ones. Now, as you can see, snow, we get in this little area, the 245 area, it just likes to bounce. I mean, it bounced here, and it just finds support in this 245 area. So when it got into the below 245, I was eyeing it. I think I grabbed it at 1145, so I almost grabbed it right there, and I saw that it started to have like a little roundish bottom right here, and I grabbed it right in here, right there, and it was perfectly timed. They went from 95 cents to 440 just right there, and they went 350% plus, so that was a good play. Then the last play of the day, which was Facebook calls, I grabbed them at 1208, which is right here, right in here, I think. 1208, right there. I thought I grabbed it right there, but I grabbed it right in here. So they went from 69 cents to $1.08. So just in this little push right here, because they're also 267s. I mean, they went close to in the money right there, just in that little push. So you can see just in this little short little couple of dollars, they just the options when they're on expiration day on Fridays, that they just go a lot. So I just seems like a gimme. Anytime that you have price action close to at the money, especially on like strikes that have like $1 or 50-cent intervals, or even $2.50. In this case, I think Facebook is $2.50. So at this point in time, it was trading at 264ish. So all I needed to do go $2 and be in the money. I mean, Facebook popping $2 is nothing. So that was the last call, and I mean, I could have took more calls at the end of the day, but like I said, I had a good week. I had 21 wins, 4 losses, 84%. I just wanted to call it a day, and I finished the day 6 wins, 1 loss. I didn't want to take any more losers. I just wanted to say, okay, I've had enough. You got to learn to know when enough is enough, and I just said that's enough. So that is the recap for the week. I hope this has helped and gave you some insight to what I'm doing and why I took what I took. And I also like to point out that I don't chase every single stock that moves on the scanner. I know a lot of traders do, and that's why they have more losses than the average people, because they're chasing everything. You stick to a few stocks. I watch the same 10 or so stocks all the time. Get familiar how they move. Get familiar how they react to news. The more you know about the particular stocks you follow or you are on watch all the time, you get more familiar with it, and they're a lot easier to predict instead of these other companies you don't have any clue about or know how they react. So that is an important part of the trick, is in succeeding, is not only consistency, is also knowing what you're doing as far as stick to what you know. So that's going to do it. Thanks for watching.